Hello everybody and welcome to day 8 of our Mediocrity to Mastery transformation program, 90-day program, and we're on day 8 already. I've changed my location. Today we converted one of our bedrooms into an office, and so yeah, it feels a bit different. It's very echoey actually. I don't know how it's coming across to you, but it feels like it's very echoey to me. So I hope it's okay. Yeah, sometimes it's good to make a change. You know, if you're in a rut in life, sometimes it's just good just to make some sort of change, like clean something up or change something. And you know, it was quite difficult because I was doing these in the living room, and then we were having to change our routine so I could do these calls with our son and stuff like that. But now we just converted one of our rooms into an office, and yeah, it feels like a cleanse, you know. So it's a good thing to do if you're procrastinating or anything. Then maybe just do something different. Okay, here we go. So I hope it's okay. Yeah, sometimes it's good to make a change. You know, if you're in a rut in life. Pause. Come back. Okay, I'm great with technology these days. I can move things around the screen and everything. I'm getting better, you know. Technophobe, my identity as a technophobe is changing as we speak. So just a few quick things. If this is the first training that you're watching, and then make sure that after you watch this, that you go back to the first one and watch the very first one first, and watch them all sequentially. That is very important because this is a program, right? It's a program with a start and a finish and a process. It's a whole process as we go through. It's a process of transformation, right? And we're following the teachings of John Demartini in the book, The Values Factor. So you need this book, The Values Factor. It's important that you have the book. I'm going to be reading the book out. I don't know how it's going to work this evening because there's lots of exercises. So a lot of what I'm reading tonight are going to be the exercises. But you need the book to do the exercises, right? You don't have time to do the exercises as we talk tonight, so I'm just going to read through them, and then you can do them for your homework for tomorrow, right? I wonder how you got on with last night's homework of doing the discovering your identity, right? That's what we did. Discovering your identity, and then finding out what you'd love to do. You know, that's a great one. Finding out what you'd love to do, just writing down. I love this, I love this, blah, 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 whatever. You know, it's a great thing just to kind of get that out and say, oh yeah, I love doing all these things. But then the second exercise, the exercise 2, which was how discover your identity, those series of questions, I know a lot of people will struggle with that. Because I had to really push through something to do that. Because, you know, transformation, it's, you got to push through. You got to push through thresholds, and that's what you got to realize. That whenever you're feeling resistance, that you got to push through a threshold. It's not that you need to stop doing it, you need to walk away from it or something. No, you need to push through to increase what you can handle, to increase your threshold, and to break through the limitations, the limiting beliefs, and things like that. Because when I did that exercise, I was thinking, I know people are going to struggle with it because I'm struggling with it. Yeah. Not everyone will really struggle with it, but some people will really struggle with it. Some people will just not do it, plain and simple. And the first time I went through it, I kind of glazed over it. I half did it. But last night, because we're doing this program, I'm holding myself accountable because at the same time, I can't sit here with complete integrity and saying, did you do this? You know, if I didn't do it, if I didn't put my all into it. So this is a great way for me to hold myself accountable, for me to stay disciplined with this process, because when I first of all went through this book, I just knew this is powerful and profound stuff, and more so than anything I've ever come across, more transformational. I said, okay, well, how can I really maximize on this and also serve others as well? How can I grow, help others grow, and serve others? That was like my question, and that's what then this 90-day transformation of Hangouts and that live trainings that we're doing manifested through that question, right? The questions we ask will create our decisions and take us in the direction of our destiny. You know, so you want to be asking great quality questions in your life to get a great quality life. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. But profound, you know. Just change the question, change your life. So yeah, when I did that, the very first question, if you haven't got it, if you haven't got the book yet, the very first question was, how do you identify yourself? If you haven't done the exercise yet, you haven't got the book, you know, ask yourself this right now. How do you identify yourself? For some, oh yeah, just write it down. Others, that's a very difficult question. And I did the exercise, and I found it great. I found I was getting little breakthroughs as I was doing it. I felt different afterwards, you know. And also, I was speaking to someone today who's also got the book. They're going through this, and I said, "Did you do the exercise?" And they said, "Well, I looked at it, but I didn't do it." And I said, "Why not?" And so, well, I just didn't know. I didn't know how to answer the questions. And the resistance came up, and the defensiveness came up. And I said, well, you know, if I ask you the questions now, let's go through them now. And so I asked the questions, I don't know. Defensive rough, I don't know. Didn't want to answer the questions, didn't even want to look at it. So then we came to a place where then they acknowledged that. They said, I don't actually know myself. And the acknowledgement of that, the acknowledgement that you don't know yourself is a powerful thing. Because with that acknowledgement, then that sets you on a journey. That sets you on a journey to discover yourself, right? And so those are the questions, you know, how do you identify yourself? What values does this reveal? And then you go through a series of other questions as well. And so, yeah, I find that a very good conversation with that person that I had today, because I could see so much resistance to it, and I could see that them getting like a little breakthrough as they acknowledged that. They said, "Oh look, you know, first of all, it's like, no, I just don't know, I don't know." But then they realized that they don't actually know themselves, and they were actually following social idealisms of who others think they should be. Growing up, whether it be different authority figures, their parents, their culture, whoever, thought, their family, their peers, thought they should be a certain way. So then when they went down to the questions, they said, well, I don't know who I am, because I've just been following what other people expect me to be, right? And that's a great place to get to. That's a really great place to get to, because then it's like, okay. Then you can make a change. Until you acknowledge something, you can't make a change. Nothing wrong with me. I'm totally fine. You know, well, I don't know what all the people are doing over there. You know, all that personal development stuff. What's all that about? You know, people telling them how to live their lives, huh? You know, why do I need all that sort of crap, huh? You know, that's like the real defensiveness that people have, the real resistance, where they don't even want to look at something like that, right? But they have no clue who they are, right? Just running off all the programs, the social idealisms, and you know, the expectations of others and things like that, right? So, these questions that you get asked, it's probing deep. You're probing deep into yourself, deep into your mind, and yes, it can be uncomfortable. It's not going to be for everyone. A lot of people, you know, I don't expect to get a big audience. I don't expect to get a huge audience for this whole program, because to be honest, not many people are up for it. That's just the bottom line. Not many people are up for it. Most people just want to be entertained. People want a bit of drama, you know. My channel is a drama-free channel, pretty much. You know, I could go for all the big views and everything by creating drama, because that's what the masses go for. Masses go for drama. Oh, look what this is happening. You know, that's why all the soap operas, the things on TV, it's all about the drama. You know, because that's what the masses are attracted to, like flies to a light. Yeah. That's the Big Brother house and all those reality shows. It's the drama that attracts people, attracts the masses. I never watched that crap. Virtually never. I've seen 1 or 2 episodes. Yeah, so this will get a very small audience because, you know, there's very few people are into mastery. Very few people are going to like pick up the torch and say, yeah, I'm going to master my life. I'm going to do it. And if you've watched this far, then congratulations, because you are one of those people. You're one of the few. It may be 1%, I don't know. Maybe 1%. And it's not that, you know, there's something special about those that pick up that torch. It's just that they made a decision. Anyone can make that decision. Just maybe an awareness, a willingness. I don't fully know what it is that makes one person do something, another person not. You know, people in the same families, the exact same upbringing, one person will do it and one person won't. You know, I don't know exactly what that is. I've been looking into that for many years, trying to find out the different things, but we don't know exactly what it is. But anyway, let's go. If you haven't done the exercise, make sure you do that exercise, and make sure, if you haven't got the book, make sure you get the book. And let's just start reading. Let's just start reading the next number of pages. And there's another couple exercises to go. They get harder. If you think that last exercise was difficult, they get harder. They get tougher. But it's great. At the end of it, you'll get a big breakthrough. At the end, you get a big breakthrough. It's like the caterpillar that transforms into the butterfly. You know, it's not easy for it, right? It's got a shell around it. And when those wings grow in the shell, they have to break through that shell. They have to break through that cocoon that's around it. And that's not easy. It takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of pushing against that threshold. That's that threshold of resistance that you got to break through. You know, you're going to get so many breakthroughs in this. And that's what it is for the butterfly. If you didn't have that resistance, that threshold of breakthrough, if you didn't have that, then when you got to the other side, if you just got taken to the dream life that you want, if you just got taken to your vision, you would just implode. You wouldn't be able to handle it because you will not have grown to where you need to be able to handle it, right? We often see it with people who get shot to stardom in different fields, different areas, without going through the personal growth, and they can't handle it. They turn to alcohol, to drugs, to gambling, to all sorts of crazy stuff, you know, flipping out and you know, taking pharmaceuticals and going in and out of different hospitals and therapy and all sorts of things because they haven't gone through the journey of growing to actually get there. You know, that happens with celebrities and things like that, right? You know, but going back to talking about the butterfly, so if you see the cocoon and the butterfly is trying to break out of that cocoon, if you go over and go, oh, I'll just help the butterfly, I'll just pull away the cocoon, let the butterfly out, let the butterfly fly, do you know what will happen? You go, okay, fly butterfly, butterfly goes, doesn't fly. Because breaking out of that cocoon, as challenging as it is for the butterfly, what it's actually doing is it's strengthening the butterfly's wings. It's strengthening them enough so as soon as it eventually breaks through, when it breaks through, then the wings are strong enough. If the wings aren't strong enough, it won't break through, so it pushes and pushes and pushes and pushes, and it can make it a slow process. But eventually, it gets through. And once it gets through, it has built up its strength so it can handle the transformation that it's got. It can handle the new world that it lives in, the new world of being in the air rather than being on the ground. It's a whole new world to it, right? And so for the new world that you're going to enter, the new reality, you're going to go through this. You're going to go through feeling kind of claustrophobic, that you have to break through something, you don't know what it is, and you know, you want to go, I'm not going to watch that crap anymore. That guy Matthew Armstrong, he's off his head. I'm not going to watch that crap. I'm going to go back and watch EastEnders. That's much better, to watch people complaining and drama and stuff like that. Or I'm going to go watch, I don't know what's the American shows that people watch. I don't know. So realize this: you're going to go through challenges. You're going to have to break through. And you need to do that because the goals you have, the vision you have to become who you need to become to be able to handle that life. You need to grow yourself. Make sense? Great. So let's move on with the book. Page 44. As you change, so do your highest values. Because your identity reflects your highest values, you can expect your identity to change as your highest values change and vice versa. What is important to you at one age or stage of life is likely to be quite different from what matters to you at another age or stage of life, as the following chart reflects. So I'll just read out what's in the chart. So on the left-hand side is ages, on the right-hand side possible values. So age 0 to 10, playing, having fun, developing selective skills. Age 10 to 20, social interaction. Age 20 to 30, establishing a relationship, career, and financial foundation. Age 30 to 40, establishing a family and a social and vocational identity. 40 to 50, ensuring financial security and further education of your offspring. Age 50 to 60, traveling and doing meaningful activities that have been delayed. Age 60 to 70, leaving a legacy and preparing for mortality. Age 70 to 80, contributing back to society and assisting the next generation. Age 80 to 90, concentrating on activities that help maintain your faculties and continued contribution. So that's a general sort of thing, right? It makes sense to you? Cool. So as we saw in the previous chapter, your highest values seldom remain stagnant. As you fill a void, a new void appears, generating a new value. Fulfillment of one value initiates a new dissatisfaction and a new void, which in turn drives you to new areas of fulfillment. Once you have developed your ability to earn money and build a career, you may desire to contribute more socially. Once you have built a career, you may wish to expand your influence, first within your profession and then beyond. Once you have established your influence in the present, you may wish to leave a legacy for future generations. Your highest values evolve as you grow into each new identity. The values factor can help you become aware of this evolution so that you can best align your goals and your highest values at every stage of your journey. Your values in relationships evolve as well. In adolescence, you may wish to establish your ability to have romantic relationships and to explore what your sexual identity means to you. Once you have established your romantic or sexual identity, you may wish to move into deeper and more meaningful relationships that make greater demands upon you, enabling you to grow and change and build a life with your partner. Building a life with a partner might evolve into creating a family. When your children have grown up and left home, you may go on to create a new life with your partner, perhaps traveling the world, pursuing a great cause, or discovering new activities that the two of you have time to share. Or you may rewrite your relationship to accommodate new ambitions at work, new involvement in the community, or new hobby avocations or interests. Once again, being aware of the values factor can help you bring your goals and highest values into alignment. Thinking of how your highest values have grown and evolved, either gradually or abruptly, can help you identify what they are now. Complete exercise 4 to learn more about your constantly evolving highest values. So exercise 4, understand how your highest values evolve. Instructions, complete the following chart. If you have not yet reached a given stage of life, imagine what your highest values might be at that point. So that exercise there, exercise 4, is again one to do in the next 24 hours before the next live training. And you know, that's shouldn't take more than 5 to 10 minutes, right? So next one, determining your highest value step by step. Now it's time to take a closer look at your life to see exactly which highest values it reveals today. This is a multi-step process in which you keep refining your answers until your hierarchy of values finally emerges with crystal clarity. Step 1, answer the following 13 questions with 3 examples of each. For each answer, choose 3 examples that are most important to you. Okay, should we read through this? There's 13 questions. Yeah, this is the exercise to do again tonight. This is a very provocative questionnaire. So let's start with this. Question 1. How do you fill your personal and professional space? Have you ever noticed the way things that are really not important to you go into the trash, the attic, or the storage closet? You might believe that you value your prized baseball card collection, but if you have it packed away in the attic where you never see it, the collection is probably not as important to you as those things that you see and use every day. In fact, you usually keep the things that are important to you where you can see or touch them, either at home or at work. What does your life demonstrate through your space? When you look around your home or office, do you see family photos, sports trophies, business awards, books? Do you see beautiful objects, comfortable furniture for friends to sit on, or souvenirs of favorite places you visited? Perhaps your space is full of games, puzzles, DVDs, CDs, or other forms of entertainment. Whatever you see around you is a very strong clue as to what you value most. Which 3 items do you fill your personal or professional space with most? So I'm going to keep reading these out, and it's just going to get your mind ticking over. So when you actually do the exercise, it's actually going to be there. So it's really kind of pre-framing it in your mind for when you actually do it. Straight away is best after we finish this evening, or definitely before the next one. But of course, immediate action is always better. 2. How do you spend your time? Here's another value determinant you can count on. People make time for things that are really important to them and run out of time for things that aren't, even though people usually say, I don't have time for what I really want to do. The truth is that they are too busy doing what is truly most important to them. And what they think they want to be doing isn't really what's most important. You find time for things that are really important to you. Somehow you figure it out. So how do you spend your time? I personally spend my days researching, writing, traveling, and teaching. Those are my 4 highest values. I find time for doing them, and I am too busy to ever find time for cooking, driving, and doing domestic things, which are low on my list of values. How you spend your time tells you what matters to you most. Which 3 actions do you truly spend your time on most? 3. How do you spend your energy? You have energy for the things that inspire you, the things you value most. Even while you run out of energy for things that do not inspire you, that's because things that are low among your values drain you, whereas things that are high among your values energize you. In fact, when you're doing something that you value highly, you have more energy afterward than when you start because you're doing something that you love and are inspired by. So which 3 actions do you spend your energy on, and where do you get your energy? 4. How do you spend your money? Again, you find money for things that are valuable to you, but you don't want to part with your money for things that are not important to you. So your choices about spending money tell you a great deal about what you value most. Now at this point, you might be noticing some overlap, some similarities between what you fill your space with and how you spend your time, energy, and money. That is a great sign. It means that you have already aligned a lot of your highest values, goals, and daily activities. If you notice a lot of divergence between the answers to these first 4 questions, you might be writing answers that are not exactly true. Perhaps you're writing what you wish or hope your answers would be, or what you think it should be according to some external authority or social idealism. The key is to identify where or how you truly spend your money. So what are the 3 items you spend most of your money on and always find money for? 5. Where do you have the most order and organization? We bring order and organization to things that are important to us and allow chaos and disorder with things that are low on our values. So look at where you have the greatest order and organization in your life, and you'll have a true sense of what you love most. It could be your social calendar, your dietary regime, your clothes and your wardrobe, your business, your finances, your spiritual ritual, your cooking area, or your house. Everyone has some time or area of life that is most organized. In my case, I see the most order and organization in my research and teaching materials and in my itinerary for traveling. This helps me see that my values involve researching, writing, traveling, and teaching. Which 3 items or areas do you have most organized? 6. Where are you most reliable, disciplined, and focused? You don't have to be prodded from the outside to do things that you value the most. You are inspired from within to do those things, and so you do them. Look at the activities, relationships, and goals for which you are disciplined, reliable, and focused. The things that nobody has to get up to do. For me, again, that's researching, writing, traveling, and teaching. I love those activities. Which 3 activities are you most reliable or disciplined at doing? 7. What do you think about, and what is your innermost dominant thought? I'm not talking about negative self-thoughts or the things that distract you. I'm not talking about the fantasy, shoulds, or oughts. I'm talking about your most common thoughts about how you want your life. Thoughts that you show slow or steady evidence of actually bringing to fruition. Which 3 things are you thinking about most? 8. What do you visualize and realize? Again, I'm not talking about fantasies. I'm asking what you visualize for your life that is slowly but surely coming true. In my case, I visualize traveling the world and setting foot in every country on the face of the earth and teaching. That is what I visualize, and that is what I am realizing. Which 3 outcomes are you mostly visualizing and realizing? 9. What is your internal dialogue? What do you keep talking to yourself about the most? I'm not asking about negative self-talk or self-aggrandizement. I want you to think of things you say to yourself about what you desire. Internal dialogues that actually seem to be coming true and showing some fruits. Which 3 outcomes about how you would love your life to be do you talk to yourself about most? 10. What do you talk about in social settings? Okay, now here's a clue that you'll probably notice for other people as well as yourself. What are the topics that you keep wanting to bring into the conversation that nobody has to remind you to talk about? What subjects turn you into an instant extrovert? You probably notice that there are topics that immediately bring you to life and start you talking, and others that turn you into an introvert who has nothing to say or who wants to change the subject. You can use the same insight to analyze other people's values. If you go up to somebody and they ask you about your kids, that means that either their kids or your kids are important to them. If they say, how's business? They value business. If they ask, are you seeing anyone new? Then relationships matter to them. Topics that attract you are a key to what you value. Which 3 topics do you keep wanting to talk to others about most? 11. What inspires you? What inspires you now? What has inspired you in the past? Who inspires you? What is common to the people who inspire you? Figuring out what inspires you most reveals what you value most. Which 3 people, actions, or outcomes inspire you most, and what is common to them? 12. What are the most consistent long-term goals that you have set? What are the 3 long-term goals that have focused on that you are bringing into reality? Again, I'm not talking about the fantasies that nothing is happening with. I want the dreams you are bringing into reality slowly but surely. The dreams that have been dominating your mind and your thoughts for a while. Dreams that you are bringing into daily life, step by step by step. So which are the 3 most important goals that you keep focusing on that are gradually coming true and appear in your reality? 13. What do you love to learn about most? What topics of study inspire you the most? When you enter a bookstore, which section do you make a beeline for? Which magazines and newspapers do you subscribe to? And which sections do you turn to first? Are there non-fiction TV shows or films, documentaries that you seek out? Are there topics that you find yourself thinking about or asking questions about? The 3 answers to these questions will help reveal your highest values. So those are the 13 questions. Step 2, I wonder when we leave it at that for this evening. Yeah, that's enough. Those are the exercises then for this evening. Complete those 13 steps, and then the other understand your how your highest values evolve, which was exercise 4 as well. So those 2 exercises. Again, if you haven't got the book, you can just always just rewind this, and you can do that yourself. And we'll continue with this again tomorrow. There's another couple of exercises, so this is quite in depth. Another couple of exercises, then we get on to chapter 3, which is the value of challenge, and that will be a real eye-opener. You'll see your whole life and the whole world differently once we read that chapter, the value of challenge, because most people see like situations. That's from Charles Swindoll. And I think I first heard that from something along those lines from Napoleon Hill, when he said, every adversity equal or greater. I find that true in my own life. Whenever I've had a major adversity, okay, I don't know why this is happening, but I know it's for the greater good, and it's going to serve me in some way. And all I got to do is have some faith in that and keep going and keep moving forward. And when I've done that, I've looked back, and some of the hardest times of my life, some of the most challenging times, a blessing, and it's just a perceptual shift. How it's a choice. It really is a choice. Whether we have a choice, whether destiny is just set in stone, whether we have this fate that's just set, or whether we get to choose, that's an age-old question that will never be answered. Because there's great sages that will just say the opposite to each other, right? Some say, no, we have no choice. The script is already written. And then there are some that say, no, we're living in the field of infinite possibilities, and I don't know. But what I do know is, no matter what the situation, and I kind of know this, because again, we may not even be here right now. This might be a dream. That's a possibility. This might be a dream, and it's actually empowering to think like that. If it's a dream, then fear goes away. Do you ever like become conscious in a dream? You're having a dream, and suddenly you go, "This is a dream. I'm in a dream." Huh? Those scary things in the dream or whatever. I can just have fun, right? I can just enjoy the dream. That ever happened, right? So it's empowering to realize, if this is, to have that belief that this is the dream. And then it goes, okay, I don't have to worry so much, right? And so, where was I? Did I go off track there? I'm not too sure. Yeah, so what we seem to have, I use the word seem because it's more appropriate. What we seem to have is the ability to perceive things differently. One person can go through one event and have a completely different perception of it than another person. One person can be let's say bullied at school, really badly bullied at school. A lot of people are bullied, but someone gets really badly bullied at school, and the whole life say, because I was bullied at school, that's why I'm fat. That's why I never achieved much. That's why such and such. And then another person says, because I bullied at school, I said I'm not going to let injustice happen to people anymore. I'm going to set up an anti-bully program. I'm going to write a book about how to beat the bully. I'm going to do this and this and this, and they actually become empowered, and they live a life of serving others and growing and become a public figure because of it, right? And it's just a choice of we can take one situation and we can choose how we deal with that. We can either find the seed of hope or benefit in it, or we cannot. Or we can choose to use it as baggage for our life. That seems to be a choice to me, right? Because we've all had hardships, we've all had, tough times, we've all gone through it. I don't think there's a person in life that hasn't. As Plato said, be gentle with people. Everyone's on a hard journey. you know. I think here endeth the lesson for this evening. I want to keep these short, around 30 minutes. Make sure you can do them every day. But it is interesting because about a year ago, when I joined the Prosperity team, just over a year ago, and Mike Hobbs, the creator of the Prosperity team, he was doing a live training every day. And I said, God, how does he do that? I thought, I could never do that. I could never do a live training every day. That's too much. That's too much pressure and stress thinking I've got to do a live training every day. No, but a year later, I'm actually doing a live training every day. And it doesn't seem like a hardship or anything. It's tough. First few days, I've got to do this, got to do this. But now I'm actually really enjoying it. And we've got some momentum now. And so it's amazing how things change. So the thing, if you think, I could never do that or something, just change that to, it's possible. It's possible. And you never know. Things can really change in a year. And what changes in 10 years, if you keep moving forward, is astronomical. So I'll just leave you with that. So thanks for watching this evening. Really appreciate really appreciate you for who you are, and because we're obviously kindred spirits of some kind. For you to be here right now, and I appreciate that. Thank you. And so remember to you can share these. You can send them to your friends. You can put them on your Facebook. You can go to the YouTube channel. Be a potential click like and comment, please. I always appreciate the comments. It also gives me more material to talk about. If you have questions, I can answer them in the next hangout. I'm not really going in now and look at the questions, but I'll go in afterward, look at any questions, and then I'll answer them. I will actually give us more material to talk about and keep it in alignment with what we're doing. So that would be great. And see you tomorrow. That's it for me. Have a great evening. Remember to complete those questions, and those that are still with me at the end of this 90 days, it's going to be phenomenal. It really is. So stay the course. Sure, what else would you be doing, as they say? See you tomorrow. Thanks. Good night.